Here we have simultaneous equations, one of which is a quadratic. And the quadratic is it's a positive quadratic. It would look a little bit like this. Meanwhile, if I made y the subject of this equation, I would actually get a minus, it would be minus 5x in fact. It's going to have a negative gradient. It's going to be a straight line that looks something like that. And we're interested in when these two graphs cross. And at this value here, if I just focus on it, the x values of both equations are the same, and the y values are. And then similarly over here, I mean, they're going to be different to over here, but they're also going to be the same. And so I can use that idea to do a substitution. So let's take this one in red, and it's going to be 2y is equal to minus 10x minus 11. And what I can actually do, I can either divide by 2 here and substitute it in, or I can take the first equation and change it to 2y is equal to 4x squared minus 6x minus 10. And now I can set the two of these equal, because I've got 2y here, I've got 2y here. I'm interested in where they're, they have the same y coordinates. So I can write down that 4x squared minus 6x minus 10 is equal to minus 10x minus 11. And I've managed to get rid of the y from this. So I've just got an equation in x to solve. This is going to become 4x squared plus 4x plus 1 equals 0, which we'll try and factorize. It's going to be 2x and 2x and 1 and 1. Sometimes you have to just try these combinations, but the 1 kind of gives it away. If you have 4x and x, you're going to get 5x instead of 4x. It works here. And therefore x is 2x plus 1 is 0, so x is equal to a half, and we get the same here. So just a single solution, in fact, which we're going to be asked about in a minute. But we're not quite done. I also need to find out y. So I can substitute it back into either one. I think I'll put it back into this one. So it's just a little bit simpler. I don't have to square the minus a half or anything. So when x equals minus a half, let's just find 2y first of all. 2y is going to be minus 10 times minus a half. That's going to be 5. 5 minus 11, that's going to give me minus 6. And therefore y is going to equal minus 3. So that's actually my answer. I don't need to write it as coordinates. I'll leave it like that. The question then does say, what can you deduce about the curve and this line? Well, this is actually what I talked about at the start. I talked about it from a geometrical perspective. And what we see is actually my curve was not correct here because I had it going through 2 points. It should only go through 1 point. And it would have looked a little bit like this instead. We get this double solution going on. And what the answer is that the line is going to be a tangent to the curve. And the reason is that we have a double root. It doesn't, it crosses, like it touches it, but it doesn't cross twice. It doesn't cross 0 times. It just touches it once. That will mean it's a tangent.